Hello everyone, welcome to Byte by eWiz. As usual, we are bringing you another interesting story around the usage of AI in e-commerce. And today we have Gautam with us, who has started this amazing startup called AiSensy. It's a WhatsApp marketing platform, and we are going to discuss about the increasing role of WhatsApp in e-commerce and other businesses, and how what would be the future and what else can be done using WhatsApp in marketing, especially for the e-commerce stores. So welcome, Gautam, to Byte.
Hey, Deepak. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for calling me.
Awesome. So I mean, what triggered you? The first question of all is, what triggered you to start AiSensy? I mean,
So yeah, first of all, we started this, around 4 or 5 years back, and we were, building chatbots, actually web chatbots and Facebook chatbots for primarily educational institutions, right? And 2 3 years into it, somewhere in 2020, we figured out and we got a lot of queries in terms of from the customers themselves that WhatsApp, we need something on WhatsApp, right? So whenever we think of ideas, everyone says that, okay, you need to think a unique idea and then you need to make it big and all of that stuff. But I realized that, okay, this was the idea that we didn't think of in one sense. The trigger, as you said, was the customers, was the market. Somewhere the market was needing something like this, and we said, why not? Let's go and just build it. And started more like let's build a WhatsApp module. And then we said, why just build a module when the market is so huge? Let's just go deep dive and build a whole product. So that is how we went around 2 to 3 months of development initially to build the MVP. So we already had the team and all of that who were working for building chatbots, and we just poured all our learnings to this product. So yeah.
nice, nice. So you're right. I mean, this is the market needs it, and maybe the reason could be because increasing all of us consume WhatsApp more than email or SMSs. I don't think anybody does uses them anymore, but yes, definitely WhatsApp. So yeah, definitely it's an interesting. And since I mean, I have been bombarded with a lot of WhatsApp marketing messages in the past couple of months, even Chroma for that matter, you have those bots. So yeah, so interesting. And why WhatsApp? Why not something else specifically? I mean, could be chatbots or anything else. Why only WhatsApp?
Yeah, there are two things to it. One is obviously business, right? So I have to see the business end being a startup founder. Secondly, why WhatsApp? Because the users are on WhatsApp, right? Everyone is using WhatsApp. What I feel is the major difference between every other platform and WhatsApp is frequency, right? Not everyone is opening an SMS app every 1 hour or every 5 minutes, right? And that is the power that businesses should leverage on WhatsApp, right? So you don't go to WhatsApp to chat with the business, but eventually if you get that chat, you are okay with it, or you reply to it, or you engage with businesses, right? So eventually you're going to WhatsApp for some reason, and that is chat. It would be with your family, friends, groups, and then there are businesses in between of those chats, right? So if you go to Japan or if you go to China, you'll see that everything runs on WeChat and Line, right? And that is everything is summed up in those two apps for them, in that one app per country for them, in that sense, right? And they buy they buy stuff using those apps, they order cabs using those apps, and they engage with their friends, family, and even businesses using those apps. So that is what I can see somewhere WhatsApp coming up. When WhatsApp says that, okay, we are coming up with a commerce feature, and so that you'll be able to buy stuff using WhatsApp, then that is some kind of direction where WhatsApp is moving towards, right? So that is the reason why WhatsApp and not someone else, because WhatsApp uh, globally has 2 billion users. In India has 450 million plus users somewhere, and it's growing day by day, and it's become a need in that sense for Indians, at least.
Great. I agree. I mean, its usage is increasing. So is that the reason why you think WhatsApp is a must for all the online businesses going forward? Or especially, I mean, since most of our audience have an e-commerce store or an online store, so I'm going to the question is more of from that context. So why do you think WhatsApp is a must for online stores going forward?
Yeah, let me tell you a thing about how was WhatsApp business app formed first. Like, this was somewhere, I think 2015, 2016, somewhere, I guess, right? And so Facebook realized that people and businesses are already engaging a lot on WhatsApp, right? And hence WhatsApp business app, like Facebook shared this, that WhatsApp business app emerged from the Indian market, right? Because businesses and users were engaging a lot, and then they launched the WhatsApp business app, right? So eventually people are doing it in some sense, right? Businesses are already interacting and already engaging, but they are not able to do it at scale. They're not, and it's a necessity for them to do it because users are on WhatsApp, right? It's all about attention. If you can get attention of your users, you can sell them anything, you can grow your sales, and you can, eventually, grow your business through it, right? So that is the key reason why businesses should be on WhatsApp. And as per data, as per WhatsApp's data, it means that someone else is already on WhatsApp if you are not, right? So by that sense, you need to be on WhatsApp. So
Yeah, why miss out? I mean, if your competition
yeah,
is already doing it.
absolutely right.
So if you could, I mean, I know the email marketing data, I don't know the WhatsApp marketing data. So if you had to compare the engagement or open rates, the common metrics which marketers use for, across multiple channels, where does WhatsApp stand in comparison with email or call for that matter, or any other channel?
Yeah, it's very huge difference. Like the rate we are seeing, we have seen brands drive 25 to even 50% revenue just via using AiSensy. Like, can you imagine that we say that we drive 25 to 30% revenue? That means agar hum nahi hote, ye revenue nahi hota, and that's the fact, right? And that is due to WhatsApp. Now I'll share some stats. Email marketing general open rates are around 20% somewhere, right? Open rates, the number of people who are opening an email, right? WhatsApp open rates are 90 to 95%. And that is on an average basis, right? For any brand, like, you just get on WhatsApp, shoot a broadcast to 10,000 people, and 95% open rates within the next 24 to 36 hours, right? And if I talk about the click rates vary. Email marketing click rates are hardly 1 to 2%. WhatsApp marketing click rates vary from 15% to 20, 25, 30, 35, even 40%, right? We have seen that range of click rates going, and hence we are able to say that, okay, it varies brand to brand, apparel to apparel, fashion, or what industry you are in, and all of that stuff. But yeah, and third is the response rates, right? The response rates here we have seen up to going 70%, man. That is crazy. So what WhatsApp has is, WhatsApp has two kind of CTAs, right? The one kind of CTA is basically a link click. So they'll give you a special button, which you can open up. Even if you have not saved the number of the business, you'll get that as a button. You can just click on that, and you can go to the website and purchase the item, right? Second is a quick reply. Like, people in e-commerce are using it for COD recovery, right? For confirming COD orders, right? So it's basically like, suppose I did a COD, I did a order, and that was on cash on delivery. So I'll get a message from the business's WhatsApp saying, okay, do you want to confirm this order? And this has almost 50 to 60%, click rate, response rate in that sense, right? Because they have quick reply buttons. So you don't need to type anything. You can just tap on that button, and you can just, go ahead on the conversation. So these are some things that WhatsApp has brought up on the WhatsApp business API specifically, or which you can use via the AiSensy platform. And once you start using these, you actually see major difference. The first thing that allows all this to happen is absolutely the open rates. If you don't have open rates, you don't have click, response, or any kind of rates, right? And that varies like 95% to 20%. It's a huge difference. So yeah,
Amazing.
like any day, like even on click rates, any day 15% is better than 1 to 2%.
Agreed.
The worst of WhatsApp is better than the best of email.
Agreed. I mean, if an open rate of 90 to 95%, that's like 4 times better than email.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean, marketers would kill for it.
Absolutely right.
Amazing. So, what are the most common use cases where you have seen businesses use WhatsApp marketing, or let's say AiSensy for that matter? What are the most common use
I'll come for e-commerce here. Okay, I think we're doing it for e-commerce. Let's do it. Yes. Right. So for e-commerce, there are, I'll name 5 good use cases which people are using. Okay, and very good use cases. And if you apply this package, for sure your sales is gonna increase by at least 2x or at least 50% tomorrow. Like, in that sense, right?
Nice. This seems like a playbook.
Yeah, it is a playbook. Yeah. It is a set of features that you give them, and it's done like in that sense, right? So the first one is obviously having an abandoned cart recovery, right? If someone is leaving out your cart, they just filled up a form, and they just left out a cart for whatever reasons, you just send them a WhatsApp message, right? If you're sending them a WhatsApp abandoned cart recovery notification, you can recover up to 25 to 30% of abandoned carts very easily, right? That is number one. Number two is you send them offer messages, right? So WhatsApp has allowed promotional messages, so you can just shoot them promotional messages on and off, right? And that instantly spikes up your sales, right? The third one is keep sending them delivery notifications and whatever and transactional messages. So what this does is this establishes a level of trust, right? That okay, now I'm starting getting messages from this brand on WhatsApp. So now suppose I have to receive an order today, right? I might not check my email, I might not check my SMS, right? But I would eventually check my WhatsApp, right? And then I get a sense of satisfaction. Okay, yaar, I this is where my order is, right? So like we ordered we ordered this rack shelf, so bookshelf we ordered recently, right? But that brand didn't give me anything on WhatsApp. So I was somewhere feeling that okay, yaar, where is my order? When will it arrive? All of that stuff. It took 10 days to come, and I had to call them up, and then eventually I had to reach them up on WhatsApp and chat with them on WhatsApp and do that. So this is the third one, right? Fourth is start doing COD recoveries, right? So we had a recent webinar with all the e-commerce founders, and a lot of like I think 150 e-commerce founders in there, right? And we asked them that what is the rate of cash on delivery orders in total number of your orders, and that range went from 60% to 90%, right? Now out of these 60 to 90%, if I can recover 10, 20, 30, 40%, right? How good would that be, right? Because there is a lot of drop offs, right? So the fourth one is COD recovery, and fifth is you can basically drive a reorder flow, right? So there are some brands that are doing at this point of time, and it is very product specific, but it works really well. Let's suppose you buy a cream, right? And that cream, that as a business I know that this cream, if someone is using it, it would last for let's say 21 days. So after 17 days or after 18 days, I'll shoot them a message that how did you like the cream? If you rebuy it today, I will give you a 10% off. Now this reorder flow, when you play it at the right time, this could be for juices, right? This could be for creams, this could be for multiple fashion products, right? And a lot of more products. So when you trigger it at the right time, it brings you sales like instantly, right? So these are the five strategies that I think anyone does it from tomorrow itself, like in 1 to 2 months, you'll see a huge change in your e-commerce. And when I say this after when we have been driving 25 to 30% revenue for top brands. So in e-commerce space. So yeah.
Yeah, this is an amazing set of use cases, Gautam. I mean, I can imagine so many businesses would like to automate all those things, especially the last one, where if you know that a particular commodity is going to, you know, needs reordering in another 2 or 3 days, and if you could preset all those things, I mean,
Right.
that just simplifies a lot of things. Instead of just targeting new campaigns, why not keep the existing customers
Absolutely.
engaged?
Absolutely. Right. You need a recurring revenue, and you need that revenue to come again, and you need new revenue coming in. So for both use cases, you have a lot to do on WhatsApp.
Nice. So where does the AI tech fit into the whole scheme of things?
Yeah, there are multiple spaces, right? So number one spaces that we all might have heard is basically AI chatbots, right? So you have intelligent chatbots who will drive the whole commerce flow for you, who will share the products with you. You can pay directly on WhatsApp, and you can just buy products using WhatsApp. So that is number one. Second thing where we are tending to, if you see that this is I think AiSensy written out there, right? And people a lot ask me, what does the AI stand for, right? And most people refer it to take, it might be chatbots and all, but what we try to make is we're trying to make the smartest WhatsApp engagement platform, right? And that AI stands for smart somewhere, right? Smartness means that okay, tomorrow I'll be able to recommend you certain things in the platform, right? That you should do. Like today, like recently, we launched a feature where you can retarget campaigns on the basis of a lot of more factors. Let's suppose you broadcasted a message to 10,000 users, right? Now I want to rebroadcast on the basis of who has read it and who has not read it. Like I want to broadcast them who has not read it. I could do a different broadcast by segregating that audience. And the same way I can see, okay, someone replied this and someone replied that. Like someone replied confirm order and someone replied no, I'll take it later. On the basis of that, you can segregate the audience again. Now this is something that is smart, right? So that the direction is basically to taking it toward more smartness, and so that we can increase your sales that is the ultimate motive. Like if I can drive 25% revenue, I can even take you to 45% revenue. That is my goal somewhere, that okay, what can I do in the platform, what can I recommend you in that sense, so that you increase your revenue using this stuff. So that is what it is. Yeah.
So would it be right to assume that the AI or the smart functionality which you're talking about would keep on learning or figuring out various ways to optimize
Yes. Yes. So
the
it comes
customer
with two.
knowledge?
Yes, it comes with two things. It comes with our experience of the industry, right? We build features on that, and secondly, there will be some intelligence coming up which will tell you on your own data. So data intelligence will be coming up, which will tell you based on your own data, your own purchase analysis, that okay, you should target these users in this manner and these users in this manner, and then that is what the plan is in that sense. Yeah, somewhere.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm just thinking aloud in this part. For example, all those insights which AiSensy generates. Now, an e-commerce or an online store would be using a CRM, for example, or a recommendation engine for their online store. Can these insights, in some way, I don't know if that's possible now, or maybe something you have as part of your roadmap, could also be shared with their CRM or their product recommendation, so it can improve that performance as well.
Yeah, see, yeah, I believe that today, if you want to win, or even if you want to play, at some level in the ecosystem, you need to be a part of the ecosystem. You need to have those integrations, right? So if you don't have integrations, eventually you're going to lose out on a lot of market, right? So yeah, eventually, an integration means, two-way integrations, right? That doesn't mean that okay, you just get the benefit and the other one doesn't get it. So yeah, we have a lot of integrations like Shopify, WooCommerce, OpenCart in the Magento, and Zoho Commerce is also coming up now. So yeah, Lead Squad coming up, Razorpay already. So we have been like 8 months now into the Razorpay integrations. So a lot of integrations, and yes, obviously both integrations get benefits, right? So that is obviously there.
Nice, nice. So if let's say there's a new business and if they want to get started with AiSensy, how quickly can they get started with it?
10 minutes, just 10 minutes,
Okay,
right?
amazing.
So you just start your free trial, right? That is completely free, all features free. You get the WhatsApp business. So the only process that is there in between, that is getting the WhatsApp business API. And today you can get the WhatsApp business API for free via AiSensy, and you can just get started with it in just 10 minutes. Like you just apply for it. You should have a mobile number ready. That is the only thing to get started on a basic note. Yeah, and then you just go on 10 minutes. You can use the whole platform and start doing stuff. So that is what it is. And then you get a 14-day fully free trial, and you can just use it at a good extent, all features included, no restrictions on that in that sense. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So you also mentioned the chatbot, or I don't know whether only the chatbot would be the right use case for it, but you mentioned the re-engagement, the fifth use case which we spoke about, that was more of a re-engagement and the reordering cycle. So what are the other ways you could act as a re-engagement platform? For example, push notifications or automatic triggers. I mean, how easy is it to set up all those things? And also, how do you see people using it, or how are your customers using?
Yeah, we have been very hard sharp focused on WhatsApp, right? So what we do is we integrate with emails, we integrate with SMS, we integrate with push notification platforms. What we have noticed usually is that people already, like especially the mid market and enterprises, already have those flows set up. They already have emails, SMS, push notifications going on, right? Now they need WhatsApp, and then we come into play. Like if I start providing everything else today, I'll be fighting a lot more players than I'm fighting today in that sense, right? So basically, yeah, we integrate with all the apps in that sense, but we don't provide that instance. In near future
Okay.
might be, but yeah, at this point of time, we are hard sharp focused on WhatsApp.
So you mentioned that a lot of brands are driving around 25 to 30% of their revenue via AiSensy. So is it possible for you to maybe share one of the e-commerce case studies with us, which would help our users understand how it works and everything?
Yeah, I can share some names, but I cannot share the exact numbers for them at this point of time.
That
yeah,
works.
So Vivo is working with us, Skullcandy is working with us, right? A lot of more e-commerce brands in that. Hutke is one brand that is working with us, right? A lot of more brands, D2C is coming up a lot at this point of time, and they're driving amazing revenues. Like so we see the reports at times, and they see the reports. So they see the reports at times, and they can they just share that, okay, this is the amount of traction that is being driven by AiSensy, and that is the happiest feeling. I can share that. We actually didn't know when we started that we would be driving revenues. We thought that we would be, we are the conversation, bridge between brands and users. But eventually now it has come down to, that you drive revenue, so why not go after it? So that is what it is.
Amazing. So is D2C the only space where you see a lot of usage for WhatsApp, or also the B2B e-commerce space?
Yeah, B2B e-commerce also. See, I feel that WhatsApp is so vast that there are use cases in every kind of industry, right? There is, I think, if you might have heard Fashionza, right? I think that is into the B2B marketplace, e-commerce marketplace industry, right? So Fashionza uses AiSensy, right? And they are using it for a lot of use cases. So use cases are there in each industry. There could be normal payment notifications, reminder notifications, event notifications. There could be bills that you might be sending. There could be offers you might be sending for bulk, for buying in bulk, right? A lot of things, right? So it's more like a trust signal that, okay, you are on WhatsApp and you are sending something, some information on WhatsApp on a regular basis. So we have seen the usage in a lot of industries, except so we are not just on e-commerce. We are play in edtech, in finance, even in the other industries, we have seen very good use cases. So yeah.
Nice. So even attachments could be shared through it. I mean,
Yeah,
you said invoices and everything.
attachments, images, videos, all of it is going very smoothly, right? In that sense.
Nice. So, one of the things which I recently read about, it's old news, but I thought would be relevant for this conversation is WhatsApp has also started with WhatsApp payments. So you can, it's like the GPay, but you can do it within the WhatsApp itself. Did that impact the WhatsApp commerce space as well?
Yeah, as of now, WhatsApp business app and API are not allowed to, take payments. Then the API is not live, and even business apps cannot accept payments, right? So until and unless that comes up, so that will be a very huge, I would say a step towards, enabling commerce. But today people are using like Razor Pay links via WhatsApp and doing it that way. But yeah, I think once the UPI is enabled on WhatsApp business, so WhatsApp has this limitation of going only till 100 million users in India at this point of time for payments. So specifically, primarily they won't do it for businesses, because when you just have 100 million limit, you won't be picking up businesses first. You will be picking up the users first. So WhatsApp has 450 million users. Out of those, they are only allowed to go after 100 million users for payments, and that is why people used to ask, why is not WhatsApp payments coming up so faster as UPI works in Google Pay and phone. Like everyone knows UPI on phone Pay and Google Pay, and everyone does it there. But why isn't it happening on WhatsApp? Why isn't that shift happening? The shift is not happening because people cannot make payments to someone else who is not there on WhatsApp, and who's not allowed to be on WhatsApp payment, because WhatsApp has this restriction. So that is the problem with WhatsApp. So by I think 2023 somewhere, a lot of things will get cleared. After July, we can see some more usage on WhatsApp payments.
So this is a quite a significant limitation for WhatsApp at this point, the payment bit. But I'm sure they'll figure it out in a couple of months. So did you face across any other limitations, or maybe your customers face across any other limitations in WhatsApp marketing, which you solved, or are you planning to solve?
Yeah, I think in October 2021, WhatsApp launched this allowed promotional messages. That was one limitation that was there, right? In February somewhere, they allowed unlimited messaging. So first, initially what they did was they had 3 tiers of messaging. That was in one day or in 24 hours window, you could send 1,000 initially, and then you can go up to 10,000 messages per 24 hours, and then you could go up to 1 lakh, and 1 lakh was the limit. But then they had another tier coming up, tier 4, that was unlimited messages. So now in one day, you can even send 50 lakh messages in one go, right? So that is what we are helping, even enterprises solve at this point of time. So, yeah.
Nice. So as long as this particular limitation, or you may say, now that you can send unlimited messages, so broadcast is no longer a challenge. You can easily send. All you need is, your customers are expected to have WhatsApp in their mobile, and you can manage.
One thing that I would like to add up to this is there is one metric called quality rating.
Okay.
Now, quality rating is is basically that what is your user behavior on the basis of what message you have sent them, right? Let's suppose you send a message to 1,000 users, and 800 people block you, right? Now when 800 people are blocking you, that is not a good signal, right? And hence WhatsApp will say that, okay, your quality rating is red, right? That means that you have to hold up your campaign for 1 or 2 days, and then it will get back to green, and then you have to send some messages to those people who are more likely to respond. Let's suppose 800 people responded you. Now your quality rating is green, and till your quality rating is green, you can go higher the tiers. You can go from 1,000 messages per day to 10,000 messages per day. Then you can go up to 1 lakh and unlimited. So your quality rating has to be maintained. That is very important metric actually.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, the way you have spam filters in your CRMs or email marketing platforms,
Yes,
WhatsApp also does that kind of quality.
right. Right. That's very important, yeah, to keep businesses in check. Otherwise, you can just buy off data and do whatever you want.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Taking
And
it as a platform.
WhatsApp is quite personal, so you would like
Right.
you actually wouldn't prefer messages from all people unless you are subscribed.
Absolutely. Right.
So from a I mean, we spoke about the chatbots. I am guessing these chatbots would also be used for customer support and other cases,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So and I also checked out your website, so you can easily automate a few decision trees within the app. So is that easy, or do you need any coding help, or how does that work?
Yeah, you don't need any coding. So there are multiple ways to build a chatbot, right? Either you can go to Google Dialogflow. It's a hands-on platform. We give you some templates. You can just figure it out and get started in 1 to 2 days, right? And so majorly chatbots are built for FAQs, right? And or driving commerce, right? You can share your products, right? So if it's a huge chatbot, people come to us and ask us to build, and we do it for them, right? For which are someone one-time setup, something like that. And or else they just build it out on themselves, and then they just integrate it very seamlessly, right? No coding is required anywhere, anyhow, right? So yeah, that is what it is. And a lot of automation use cases. So Shopify is connected already with AiSensy platform, so you can just get a lot of automations done like in a single click. So yeah, that's what it is.
Nice. So I'm so in those chatbots, a lot of chatbots, they have a set of basic decision trees. Then there are also NLP searches where you identify certain keywords from what the user is chatting, and in some cases it also allows you to connect to a human, some advanced queries. So
Mm.
is that something you also allow? How does that work?
Yeah, okay. So AiSensy, when we started off, see, we come from a chatbot background, right? So we build the platform in a manner that there are 3 segments in the live chat section already defined. First one is the active section, then is the requesting section, and then is the interviewing section. So it is a segregation that, okay, if it is inactive, the user is talking to the chatbot. Now, if the chatbot is not able to understand something, like there will be a set of queries you have to put up in the chatbot. If something comes out of these queries, right? If user has typed something random, right? It goes to the requesting section in the live chat dashboard, right? And once your agent intervenes the chat, it goes to the intervene section. So we have proper segregation of chats of where they are functioning in that sense. So yeah, since we come from that background, we built it that way. So yeah.
Nice. And how do you see this evolving going forward from an AI tech perspective specifically?
Yeah,
Because things are evolving, and
right.
a lot of people are actually trying to. I mean, it does solve a lot of problems. You can automate. You don't need anybody, somebody manning all those things for 24 hours a day. Plus, these chatbots are a very important source of intelligence because you interact directly with the customers. You
Right.
have all those data analytics, and you mentioned those. So, how do you see growing this forward for your platform and generally overall?
Right. See, in general, like I'll share one thing that chatbots sort of doomed down, right? I'll tell you why, and especially AI chatbots, yeah, because there is a Pareto's principle that says, okay, that your 80% queries are gonna be from the same 20% questions, right? So basically, 80% users are gonna ask the same 20% questions, right? So once you figure out that, right, it's gonna or it could be reversed like 20, 80, 80, 20, whatever you say, right? So now once you figure out those 80% set of questions, right, which these users are gonna ask, or 20, whatever it is, right? So you can figure out what you need in a chatbot. You can figure out the key flows. You know what to put in a chatbot, and then you need human intervention. What we notice, one thing, there are a lot of things from the business end and the user end. The user wants to get in touch with the human. People don't want naturally to talk to a chatbot. They have to because the human is not coming up, but they get answers. So at some point of time, like if you go to Swiggy, right, or Zomato, right, and you struggle somewhere, then you want someone to come up and answer your query. You
Right.
want, and we are very emotional people. We want to shout at someone for no reason, right? Or at least have someone listen to us, right? Chatbots cannot listen to you the way a human listens, and they understand, right? You need to be very sure that okay, is this going through or not going through? Keeping that aside, businesses recognize that what I noticed is that businesses, it's not about just the founders or just the startup owners or how they are thinking. It's more about how the managers are thinking, right? And no manager would like to fire someone, right, just because a chatbot comes in play. That is what we noticed when we went to the Indian market. Like people replaced people, but they didn't fire them. And this became a setback. This became a very friction point for chatbot companies to sell. Like if someone is hiring people, they won't hire them. Like let's suppose before hiring people, I will think about a chatbot. But if I have hired 25 agents, I'm not at all going to fire them now, right? Like unless and until there's a market breakdown and I have to lay off a lot of people, I normally won't implement a chatbot just to fire these people. So that is because initially chatbots, when they came up, people said, okay, you can reduce your HR cost, and that is one major thing. But eventually managers won't like to do that because that it's a very different kind of call, right? So that is what happened with the chatbots. Turning on to the AI part, I think it is evolving, very evolving. As find recommendation engines are becoming smarter and smarter, right? Though there is a long way to go, since people like to talk to humans, but I think engagement could become very smart, and if you just focus on the recommendation part, right, you can do a lot, right? Like I've seen multiple platforms in the US and in India, they come with smart recommendations around what, like even Amazon, right? Amazon knows that okay, if you're buying this mobile, you need to buy a charger with it, you need to buy earphones with it, and it recommends you on that notes, right? So now this is some kind of smart recommendation that you can bring up in a chatbot or AI part or automation part, wherever you're putting it up, right? Like suppose you buy some apparel and I suggest you some cosmetics with it. After 2 days, I post, okay, you buy this apparel, great, you bought this apparel. Why don't you buy this cream, because it might look good on you, and this here's a coupon of 20% off, right? So like an offer, you need to get the offer right, you need to get the recommendation right. Once you do that, you have something. So that is how it is.
Right. So uh, if I implement, let's say, an AiSensy bot on my website itself, on my online store itself, is it possible for businesses to offer the recommendation? For example, I am already a customer of yours and I visit your store, and would it behave in a way which says that, hey Deepak, we welcome back, we realize that you just bought a mobile, would you like to also check out a cover for it?
Mhm.
So are those product recommendations allowed in the WhatsApp chat, or maybe as part of the re-engagement piece, where my, like you rightly said, I bought a mobile maybe 10 days ago, you want to keep me engaged, you might send out a WhatsApp broadcast saying, hey, you recently bought this mobile phone, why not check out some really covers here are the top 5 for you. So is that kind of broadcast message could be sent through AiSensy?
So yeah, manually everything can be done, right? So if you bought something and if I know 100 users bought this mobile phone, right, and now I should recommend them to buy covers, right? So I can just come and broadcast them, specifically choose those users, and I can broadcast them a message again. That is manually possible. Automatically possibility that we are coming up to now. We'll slowly build something around recommendation engines and all of that stuff, so that we stay on the smartness part of the platform. So yeah.
Nice, amazing. Oh, I'm just thinking. So if I had to ask you your product vision, where would you like to see AiSensy go? Maybe in the next, I don't know, 5 years, or what's your ultimate vision? How do you see it as a product, maybe 5 years down the line?
Yeah, we see it as a communication suite, right? A full-fledged communication suite that is helping businesses and users interact at a very good scale. So yeah, that is what it is in very simple terms. Like there would be email, there would be SMS, there would be WhatsApp, and there could be Telegram. There could be multiple in a 5 year zone, if I call it out, right? Today, like HubSpot stands, right, saying, okay, I have service suite, I have support suite, I have marketing suite. Like that is somewhere where we see ourselves, okay, that building it into a very big company, and supporting businesses and users to engage first, and then businesses helping businesses to drive revenue via smarter ways. So yeah.
Okay. Also, see, we know for a fact that in India, WhatsApp is used across all strata, all sort of users. It doesn't matter what your social status is. How is the market penetration of WhatsApp in other countries? For the reason I'm asking is we have a set of international users predominantly in the US.
Mhm.
And how's the market scenario in US, Europe, or Australia, if
Yeah,
versus India?
as far as we have seen, US is not a very WhatsApp heavy market. So uh, that is one of the reasons people don't go after US in this industry. We have majorly seen good traction coming from Latin American countries, be it Colombia, Brazil, Mexico. All of these companies have very good WhatsApp traction. All of and Middle East, Southeast Asia, all of these companies, and even Dubai side now has started. UAE has started coming up on WhatsApp. Good. So yeah, majorly after India, the largest market becomes Latin America, right? And that is one good paying market, and also a good usage market in both terms. So that is the second market that is getting lots of results, and even a growing market, I would say. So yeah.
Got it, got it. I, I, I think Gautam, I think I have, most of my and especially my team's queries answered. And a few of them, which I asked you were from my team because we are using AiSensy for one of our premium furniture brands.
Mhm.
So, on an ending note, if you had to elaborate on one particular case study or usage from an actual client, what they did and what was the problem that AiSensy solved? How did you solve it, and what are the results? You don't have to actually share the actual numbers, but a detailed case study would help our customers understand how exactly it
I'll
happened.
share a general case. I won't name the client, but very huge client, right? In that sense. So they didn't have any. So they were on Shopify. They didn't have any abandoned cart flow set up. They didn't have a even WhatsApp button on their website, right? And so they had support. They didn't have any support people. So they hired support people after they got WhatsApp because they saw engagements coming in, right? So 5 to 7 things, as I shared in the very start, we did, right? Abandoned cart recovery setup, setting up all their payment notification, delivery notification, COD recovery setup, reorder flow setup, and broadcasting the offers. So we said them, okay, each week you share this offer and you share it in this way, and these are some good template messages, right? Furthermore, I think in a week or so we are coming with a bunch of template messages pre-sorted. Yeah, so basically, they did all of these things, right? They did abandoned cart recovery, automated some notifications like delivery and all, right? We introduced COD recovery for them, reorder flows, right? And they started broadcasting offer notifications. Once they did this, today around 25 to 35% revenue on a variable note each week is driven by agency. So that is what is happening in e-commerce at this point of time. Like, I think e-commerce is one of the most easiest ways. This is one of the most easiest way to start off, to boost your sales. If you have this, it's like a playbook, you said, right? So it's exactly like a playbook. You have these things set up, you get those results. There is no too much of thinking around it. Like, even in Facebook ads, you have to think about CTA, you have to think about ad, you have to think about the market audience. Here you don't need to do anything, right? You're already driving some kind of effort. You just need to recognize that, okay, you have driven so much effort in marketing, now you need to optimize things in the right place, and you just get the results. So yeah.
Nice, nice. And what manpower, what sort of team would you need to set this up?
One guy, hardly one guy. So you don't need anyone actually. So you just need one person who can just be there and uh, just set it up. So it's not too hard. It's very easy process. And our support team is there 24/7. Like, if you might have heard about it, like, we are talked about our support, right? We even answer phone calls and take customer support queries on Sundays. So yeah, so that is what we have been helping our clients with, and that is how we are building the brand in that sense. So yeah.
Great, great, Gautam. I think I mean, this has been a great conversation, and especially a lot of things around the WhatsApp piece, the playbook specifically. I'm sure that is going to be a huge hit with our audience because everybody loves playbook, and if you could do that on a channel like WhatsApp where the open rates are around 90 to 95%, I mean, people have to do that. There is no other reason. There's no reason why they shouldn't. So
Absolutely.
I think it has been great. Thanks Gautam for joining us today. And
Great, man. Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me.
yeah, whenever we think of any other piece where we think that we need some piece around WhatsApp, we'll definitely have you again on our channel.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.